All right, yeah, moving along to our next topic. Listen, not these three people here are three of my closest friends and the closest people to me in my life.
Man,
but hey,
your friends.
No one's perfect, and as these three would attest about me, that's certainly very true of me. Today, in today's day and age, a lot of times this is referred to in memes as your toxic trait. The thing about you that, hey, is, we love him, but blank. I feel like I can go first, and then you guys can maybe, I don't know if you
I feel like
stories.
you guys did a whole episode on me.
Oh, no, we didn't get into your toxic traits. We just talked about what we don't like about you.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah, I posted a response, and I crushed you in views. Yeah, I obliterated your guys' video. It was weird.
It's technically our video collectively.
It was not even close. No, the one was mine. It's on my channel. I'm the main character in it, so...
yeah, so I mean, I feel like everyone could do each other's, but I'll just put forth what I would imagine.
That's, it's a safe space. We can talk about each other, criticize each other in a healthy way.
I'll say what I think my toxic trait is, and that is, of course, and I just did it to you, the fact that I interrupt everyone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is like my worst habit in the world, and I talk over people.
I think that speaking in a healthy, criticizing way for the people that we love,
yeah.
I think it is more deep-rooted than that. I think it's the same reason why you're late all the time to things. It's maybe not necessarily a little main character syndrome, but, your priorities are maybe a little bit more centered on you as they could and should be, but then not having... the not empathy when you perspective of other people, and I wonder if that comes from little brother syndrome. Maybe it's like I gotta fight for my own kind of thing, plus the 2-year stint you did in county, so
yeah, of course, yeah, everyone knows that 2-year stint I did for,
because it'll be like you're like, all right, it's like, all right, we're meeting at 11:30 to film, we'll get a text message at 11:25. It's like, all right, walking Ray, like,
yeah.
So a couple things, because I've had this. I've had
a couple things for you.
No. Because I do recognize that these things are problems in my life and things that I am actively working on trying to be better about, especially, in my relationship. These are things that Julia and I have talked about. I do think the interrupting thing does come from being the youngest of 3 boys and feeling like I needed to speak up a lot to be noticed. If I'm really like psychoanalyzing that part. But the thing that Julia said to me that I think is actually kind of true about the lateness thing is that I'm like over optimistic, where I budget.
I can walk the dog in 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, I budget my time in a way where I don't allow for anything to go wrong or like longer than I would imagine that they would take. So
but after years and years of that not working, wouldn't you be like, okay, maybe I should start programming in some time to allot for things going wrong?
He's an optimistic guy. He's pushing P.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just constantly pushing P.
So you please step away from me.
Yeah.
If he's pushing P, that's his toxic trait. He's gonna get outed. Whoever he's pushing P on is gonna make a whole exposed video.
Oh man. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I think the other thing, so I had an experience in my life in my early 20s where I
swear to God, if you talk about being robbed again.
Well, that was, but that is, I'm not obviously not going to go into the story, but
The way you said that.
But like,
oh God, you're not going to talk about that
Like
traumatic thing that happened that's really important to you.
Oh
Or is
my
it-
God, this traumatizing event.
It's such a dick move.
but I'm not going to go
Dylan.
into the story, but I did kind of decide, I feel like in that moment, like, I don't want to get mad over trivial stuff, right? And to me, being 5 minutes late is trivial, but like the thing that I don't realize and the thing I need to like take into account more is like you're saying, it's main character syndrome. I'm not considering how it affects other people. It doesn't matter. And this is something also that I feel like I've had to work on my relationship is like, just because I decide something is not important doesn't mean it's not important to other people. And like,
everyone's feelings are valid.
Yes.
Unless it's standards and practices in my that tell me I can't make fun of TikTok live streamers.
Indeed.
Neither here nor there.
Inside baseball a little bit, but yeah.
Who?
Sure, I will go next.
All right.
I am an extremely vengeful man. So vengeful, in fact, that when a video was made about me and how I am a petty, vengeful person, I did not take a moment to reflect and be like, how can I change myself? Should I maybe just not respond to this and let this thing go? Instead, what I did was I downloaded that whole video, dropped it into Premiere, and then proceeded to make a 30-minute commentary video about how I'm so vengeful, in which I lashed back out at the people who made the original video, thus ensuring that I did not grow at all from the experience and maintaining my status as a vengeful prick.
My dream is for Keith Richmond to start a YouTube channel so that you can just make
I would love
Keith
to go
Richmond
back and
reaction
forth with
videos.
Keith Richmond, yeah.
I want to see that feud.
Yeah, where's that beef?
I would love for him to be my
Guys,
nemesis.
Can I just say, Lasercorn's responding to the Lasercorn hate video got 39,000 more views.
Oh no, we're aware.
What's the grand total? Yeah. Not only did I make the video and then put it up where I lashed out at them, I then every opportunity I
views from our video.
I took views away from a channel that I'm on, and then every opportunity I get, I throw it in their face that my video has more views.
Yeah.
You might be saying to yourself, Lasercorn, that's not toxic. You're a borderline supervillain at this point.
So you've fallen into the toxic vat and have come out a supervillain.
Yeah. To which I would respond, I think too many people, you ever hear that old saying, everyone's the hero of their own stories? Terrible way to look at things. Just be the protagonist.
Yeah.
That's the villain of everyone else's story.
The antagonist.
Or, well, I'm the protagonist. So whatever I do is the focus. Sometimes good, sometimes evil. Doesn't really matter. I'm not the hero of my own story. And that's how I rationalize it to myself. I'm like, should I be making this video? No, I'm no hero. Click, click, record.
I will also say, and putting myself maybe in the crosshairs on this one, another one of Lasercorn's toxic traits, a red flag, if you will, is that if he's got an opinion in his mind, that opinion is now fact. We were talking about a quote-unquote bad game recently. And to which I agree, he doesn't like the game. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not my style of game either. But I'm like, but it's not necessarily a bad game. It's just maybe it's for this type of audience. It's like, no, it's a bad game. I'm like, yeah, but there are people who really love these types of games and people find enjoy. Nope, bad game. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
okay.
Stubborn man.
I would love to go deeper into this, but not till I get paid.
Yeah. We can let things go, Lasercorn. We can.
No, I can't. I'm marking this down. We'll come back to this. But also, my opinions are just better than other people's opinions.
I have a toxic trait that I think Joven and Mari would agree with for Lasercorn, which is working with someone for years and then not recognizing their name or face or anything about them.
Depending on who it is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's ableist of you guys. I have literal face blindness.
For what it's worth.
What?
Don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You don't.
I have face blindness. It's a real thing. Look it up.
Yeah, he added it to the dictionary.
I put it in Wikipedia.
Since branching out from like Smosh Games and like now working with other companies, other stuff, I've now found myself in a situation where I have reintroduced myself like, oh yeah, we worked together on this thing. I was like, so sorry. And in my head, I'm just like, make a better impression, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God. It's awful.
So this is prosopagnosia,
Guess that's
also known as face blindness, is a neurological disorder characterized by the inability to recognize faces. But wouldn't that include our faces?
If I see someone over and over again, it kind of gets drilled into my brain. But if I see someone, like me and my wife will be out and at dinner, and the waitress will come by, or waiter, take our order, and then if I need to flag down the waitress, I have to ask Brina to do it because I'm like, I don't remember what they looked like.
So Counterpoint to this is something we had to look up recently.
It's in your hand. Oh.
So it's a pen. That's how you know
It's a
I mean
dildo.
business. If you're inventive enough. So face blindness, the actual issue of it is your brain not being able to look at the key features of a face that allow you to remember a face, and it can't hold those memories. The way that you don't remember faces, or even myself at times, is not necessarily the inability to do so, but we don't allow our brain the time. It's like when someone introduces themselves and then you immediately forget their name. It's not that you have an inability to remember people's names. You haven't put in the effort to take in the information.
I don't know about that. Because
mean,
I have even if I study something for a while, if I go back and try to like describe it, it's like very difficult.
One of my toxic traits, though, if you were to ask my wife, is I will hear about like how someone is doing medically, and I'm like, that's not a real thing. Like, that's not actually what's happening to you. That's probably this. So one of my toxic traits is just disregarding your health issues.
Joven's one of those people that's like, depression's a choice.
Yeah, just choose to take your medicine. Speaking of some of my other toxic traits, I guess, I always thought I just had maybe like a short fuse, but it didn't feel right. And Kate, I think, pointed out in a better way. It's that minor annoyances just throw me off, and they blow me up. Kind of going back to like, someone he's 5 minutes late. Like, why the f- can he get? It's like, it's 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes.
It's when you blow up when somebody's chewing and you can hear it on the mic, and you just throw your headset off. And you're like, who did that? Who did that?
Yeah, I literally in like
do it.
it's like, who the f- is eating right now? Fucking stop! It's like, geez, it's okay. It has to be one of my worst toxic traits.
Yeah, Joven gets really annoyed by minor things like a line. He doesn't like waiting in them.
Well, Joven I guess his toxic trait is he has a huge ego, right?
Yeah.
He thinks he's very important.
I don't think I necessarily have an ego.
You really
I
do,
think
yes.
that
You
Most
do.
people who
Everyone
don't think
disagrees
that they
with
have
you on
huge
that.
egos usually do.
Kate would get mad at me because I talk about. Never mind. I mean, this one's bad. No, I will call people like normal people. Just like, you're boring. Like, be less. Like, it's a normal person.
Joven definitely thinks that other people are peasants.
Yeah. It's like, find something to define you. Like, be more than just a Facebook person. Like, I spent all my time on Facebook. You're a normal person. Get the f-
He
off
thinks
Facebook.
that everyone else is an NPC, except for him.
Yeah. No, I do. But when you look at my life on paper, it's really hard not to have main character syndrome, like for realsies. And to have a sweet moment. I think that
is something a main character would say.
Yeah.
But I think also
at least someone who believes himself.
Like, can you imagine anyone else that dressed up and went to kids' parties as superheroes? I can't.
it's like, nope, just me. But also I think like, then when Gwen was born and like my whole post was like, I thought I was the main character. Nope, this was my job. Bring her into the world. But then after like a year and a half, I'm like, oh, no. I'm still the main character.
You're pushing Gwen out of your videos. You're like, no. You've had enough posts this week. This is my Instagram.
It's like trying to do an Instagram reel again. It's like, I'm sorry, did you hear the baby laugh? Can you tell her to stop, please? Thank you.
Oh, there was okay, never mind. I'm not going to say that because of Joven's definition of pushing P. It ruined my joke.
Yeah, no.
I think my toxic trait actually is probably very similar to Joven's when it comes to work, where I'm like, I have this thing that I need to do. Everyone needs to stop, and like, it's the show. It needs to happen. And so then everything becomes part of that. I work too much.
In like a...
That's definitely toxic.
I think that's a nicer toxic thing. It's like, you know what? I work too hard.
No,
It's
it's
like
not.
when someone
It's-
asks you what your weakness is, it's like, I'm just such a hard worker that it's
Like,
negative.
I have no
My
work-life
weakness
balance.
is that I don't have any weaknesses.
Wow.
I have nothing
No,
to
it's-
humanize myself.
No, it's gotten really bad over the years that I had to kind of check myself that I was like honestly like f***ing things up with Pete, where like it got to a point where wherever we went, I had to get the shot. I had to get the shot for social media, and then the whole evening turned into like getting the shot, and then I just was not like really living.
Did anyone else just feel
in the moment.
shocked that they have any form of disagreements ever? Like that perfect relationship? Like there's a I was gonna
I
say
imagine
problem with the armor.
I just know, like, from having talked to Pete at all, that he would not shy away ever from being like, this is a problem for me. So I just imagine that they have a very healthy relationship in that way. It's not that there's no issues, it's that they talk them out very openly.
I think if anything, I really started to see how much of a monster I am when it's like, no, we didn't get it. Let's get it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, or whatever it is. And he is very patient until he's like, I'm walking away. And then it's like, and then I get really frustrated when it's like, you're walking away, what? You know, and it's probably the healthiest thing. But now I don't know. I think I'm a lot more chill now, which is good. But I think working still takes like the main, I don't know, it becomes the main thing in my life.
I'm going to add a toxic trait for you.
Yeah.
I think, and this comes from also probably just your upbringing and then having a career in YouTube. I think that not that you're addicted to instant gratification or instant, like, you know, results of some sort, but like you need it. And if it's not there, then it's not working kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm a results driven person, like input in, input out. And it's funny. I was having a conversation about this with Sean Morgan last night about this exact thing.
You talked to Sean?
Like, yeah, he's in town for TwitchCon.
For TwitchCon. Yeah.
Where it's like the expectancy of whatever you put in, it used to be very black and white with like coming from an athlete's perspective, where it's like, yeah, you put it in and then you get like the very black and white sort of thing where it's like, you know, like your batting scores, your average, or whatever it is. For me, it was like performances and all that stuff. And then now it's like amalgamous. You just don't know what you're doing in this digital space because it's like always changing.
Amorphous.
Frustrating. Amorphous, thank you.
I was having a conversation about retention numbers and, you know, the views on YouTube versus TV and spending like so long on digital. It's like I could tell you the next day what's working, what's not working. That's that shift. But you know, when you're waiting on ratings in television, you sometimes don't get them back at all. So you have nothing to build off of. So it's like there is something about like going off of results that was so great about that. But then the moment it's gone, it's like, all right, well, now, okay, I've got no direction.
I got a bunch of toxic traits. And one of them is being imperfect, which is why I think it's like, I don't know. It helps to be around other folks.
Being
because then
imperfect is not a toxic trait. Everyone is imperfect. Now, if you viewed imperfect people as beneath you.
Well, what you meant was not being okay with being imperfect?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Now, the follow-up to this topic is we bring on all of our significant others and we ask them the question, what is our toxic traits? And then we just have a ball with it.
Didn't we say that we were going to get a group therapist?
Oh, there's that. Also, for those of you guys don't listen to Strike Force Spies, but they, like, Jimmy Fallon wound up sending questions to all the wives and then doing like, all right, what do you think your wife answered this question to? I think that'd be really fun. And I'll try to produce something like that for us.
That'd be cool.
It's a good idea.
Well, let me just be the first to say that, you know, we may all be imperfect, but we're all perfect for each other. Isn't
somehow
that
we
cute?
still keep each other around. It's either I accept Laser or Sohinky for his lateness.
I thought of another one for Sohinky.
Oh, boy.
Go ahead.
You sometimes have to be pushed to take initiative on things, such as setting up for a shoot, even you know, following through on an idea that you came up with. Mm-hmm. You know, when everyone else is setting up lights and stuff, sometimes you're just playing a game on a group shoot.
Yeah. No, this is again a problem that has extended into my personal relationship.
Here's the fix it with us, it'll fix everywhere else.
It's just more like I think in the past I've been like content with knowing that something was getting taken care of rather than being like, how could I myself aid in or expedite the process. So it's like, rather like you see you hauling in lights, I'm like, he's got the lights. But like I could be like, hey, there's more lights outside and we can get set up faster if I went and grabbed that last light.
That's true.
That's funny. My toxic trait is literally probably the opposite. I like being a little goody two shoes and getting like the pat on the head that I'm like, oh, you're grabbing a light, I'll grab 3.
And then
Mario
you break
over
all
here
of the
again, we're like,
lights.
my bad thing is I do
Yeah.
too much. I need you to like me a lot.
Yeah, I need to be liked. I need the pat on the head. I need to be like, oh yeah, Mari did a great job.
What a great topic, So Inky. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention. This was a fun and healthy space. And now to those watching on YouTube, please leave comments below what you think our toxic traits are. What did we miss today?
What do you think our toxic traits are?
All the people that have been watching us forever are like, oh, got a whole list. Let me
And,
just.
In these 2 different YouTube videos, no one decided to pimp out that on Patreon. We've got extended videos and we have a whole nother topic of this show. So go over to Patreon where you can watch extended versions of our gaming content, extra topics from the podcast, and of course, a Q&A and other React videos.
My other toxic trait is that I think that I look very good with a mustache.
That's very
Ooh.
toxic.
I also think I'm the best at what I do and that everyone else is just trying to keep up with me. But
That
seriously.
goes along with ego.
Yeah.
Dude, I want just 1% of that confidence, dude.
I'm telling you.
Honestly, I think that might be the reason why I hang out with you, Joven. I want to excrete any of that
don't
confidence and
excrete me.
apply it.
And if you're going to
Especially
excrete
when
me,
he's
please do it
pushing P,
discreetly.
you don't want to excrete him.
It's funny because even last night I was thinking, I was like, I don't think I have an ego issue. I don't know why this came up. I don't think I have an ego issue. I think it's a faux confidence that's fueled by anxiety, so that if anything does start to go wrong, it like starts to trigger and clash together.
It's an ego
Well,
issue.
it's
I'm pushing that
But your confidence is admirable. I do feel like
Thank you.
I want that.
Yeah.
So if y'all can just start to listen to my notes, format these shows at the top, give some little structure, and promote the Patreon.
Hey, if you just heard Joven talking, what are you doing watching this end card without giving us $3? Like all these people over here that gave us $3. They were like, hey, this is worth $3. Why don't you think we're worth $3? Is it because of all of our toxic traits?
You've really
give us
hurt our
$3.
self-esteem.
Dollars.